Hello, and welcome to Jammin Jukebox Radio Show. I am your host, DJ Delta Dawn, and welcome to Monday, folks. And boy, has it been a Monday. I mean, it has been the Monday of Mondays, I believe, but aren't all Mondays kind of that way? But, of course, you know, some things have been going on in our nation today that have kind of set us all back a little bit. So, you know, going to this interview tonight, while I'm so excited about our guest, you know, we can't help but feel a little bit somber because of what we're dealing with currently. But I am excited to say that I am glad it's Monday because our guest tonight, you're going to absolutely love him. I'm a brand new fan. I have to say I like his music, and he is really going to be the next big thing in pop music. I fully believe it. His name is Tristan Blaine, and he's a 13-year-old quadruple threat. Now, when I say that, I mean he is a singer, a dancer, an actor, and a guitarist. And he has a voice destined to have all the girls out there swooning, and believe me, I've seen them all over social media. They do swoon. And the look and swagger that has elicited such strong visceral responses from his female fan base that they refer to themselves as Blainiacs. He's from Borger, Texas, and I would like to introduce to you right now Mr. Tristan Blaine. Hello.
Hey, Dawn, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I am doing just fine.
Well, thank you so much for being with us tonight and taking time away because you've been so busy of late just to call in and speak with us for a little bit. I'm really appreciative of that. Thank you.
Yeah, anytime. Thanks for having me.
Well, you're welcome. Now, I want to just clarify something right out of the gate. Are you 13? Are you really 13?
Yes, I am 13. I'm going to be turning 14 in June. So.
Oh, my gosh. Well, I want you to know, you know, as I was speaking with you before we went live, I was so impressed because you, number one, you don't sound like a 13-year-old. Number two, you're very well-spoken. You're very well-spoken for 13. You definitely sound like you've done this a time or two. And,
yes.
I mean, and even your music, I have to compliment you. I mean, when I listened to your music initially, I was like, no way. They're just saying it's 13. There's no way this guy could be 13, which just makes you all the more impressive because, you know, of your age and not, you know, 13 is young, but you sound so beyond your years. And I just know you're going to be this tremendous, I mean, household name. Just give it time. We already know you have the fan base. I mean, so that is growing by the moment, I'm sure. Well, I want to talk to you, you know, because you are 13 now, so I want to talk to you, you know, when you got started. Like, when did you realize that this is what you wanted to do?
Well, I was around 10 years old, and I was singing with choir, you know, at my old school. I'm homeschooled now due to, you know, touring and all that, but I was back in my old school. I did choir, and I did plays, and I absolutely loved it. I loved the feeling I got from the audience when, like, if I delivered a funny line or something like that, and they laughed, and that's the kind of feeling that I got every single time that I'm on stage. And even to now, I still love that feeling. That's what made me realize, this is kind of cool. Maybe I should do this professionally. Yeah, and I'm here now.
Well, I mean, apparently you're following your dreams, and I think it's so cool to be the age you are, and you've kind of figured out early on what it is that you want to do with your life. I mean, there's a lot of 13-year-olds walking around that are kind of aspiring to want to do things but really don't have a firm grip on what they really want to do, much less pursuing it. So kudos. I mean, that is awesome. And
thank you.
And I just, you know, I'm amazed at how you have, you know, how you've grown in popularity so quickly. I mean, how did you initially let the world know who you were and get your music out there? I mean, what did you do? How did you go about that?
Well, I mean, I was posting videos on YouTube. I was booking a lot of shows at Six Flags over Texas anyway, and Planet Kids, which is like a kids organization in Dallas. It's a little thing where, you know, parents can drop people off and, I mean, their kids off and leave them there, and they can have a night out on Friday and Saturday nights.
That is so cool.
That's pretty much how I got started.
Well,
and then of course now I got signed with the record label now, so it's called Boxcar Digital. It's a small indie label. But, my producer now, ever since I got signed with that label, they hooked me up with this awesome producer named Jon John Robinson. And turns out he's won 2 Grammys for producing. And he's hooked me up with these amazing writers. One of them is Dwight Watson, and he worked with Mindless Behavior, if you know who that is. Party Movement and Jaden the Cure, and he's worked with a lot of those big time people. And Jon John Robinson, he worked with Lady Gaga, TLC, and Pink. So it was a huge experience for me. And then when he wanted to sign me, it was a life-changing moment.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean,
yeah.
It sounds like already you have got some great people in your camp that are just kind of guiding and steering you, because I'm telling you, your music is so relevant, and, I'm so happy that you're signed. That just makes me ecstatic, because when I heard your music initially, now this is before I knew that you were signed, but I was like, this guy needs to be signed. He is just that good. Now, one of your songs I'm going to play a little bit later in our interview, when I first heard the song, and tell me if you've ever heard anybody tell you this, because it's not an insult, but it was like you're on Up and Away. It was a cross to me, the sound between Justin Timberlake and Justin Bieber.
There you go. That's what I'm aiming for. That's exactly.
You definitely have hit it spot on. I was just like, oh my gosh, I guess this is what you get when, if anyone could ever envision what it would be like to hear a mashup between the Justins of the world. If you will, there you get it. You got Tristan Blaine. I mean, that's what you get when you mix Justin Timberlake, JT and JD. I mean, you get TV.
Yes, ma'am.
So, I mean, it was just, I dig your stuff. It is so hot, and I can understand why oodles of girls just think that you're the greatest thing, the greatest thing of late. And one of the things that I wanted to mention to the audience is that, in 2012, you were touring. I mean, you were going to Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, and Louisiana, and you were touring with some radio Disney stars, Layne and Celeste Kellogg. And talk a little bit about that. What was that like for you? Because that was pre before you signed to the record label, right?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. It was my first tour that I've ever been on. And it was really, really fun, because I got to meet new friends that I will, never forget about, and they're still in my life to this day. I mean, it's an amazing feeling. Also, touring, it's stressful, but knowing that you have a couple of your friends around, it makes it less, just a little bit less stressful, because you know that they always have your back. And if you're ever feeling down, they'll cheer you up if you're on tour. So, I mean, it's a really cool experience.
Well, that and you're not on tour alone. I mean, you've got people that are experiencing the same thing you are. So I'm sure it's a great, motivator to have people that are going through the same thing, be it up or down. Everybody kind of knows and can relate. And now I had the privilege a while back of interviewing Layne, and I must tell you, he's great too. I mean, you guys.
He's good. He's amazing.
I love this new wave of young pop stars that are on the scene, because you guys are going to be the next big thing. I mean, you're already gaining such a following as it is. Your music is very popular, and I mean, you guys are going to be the next big thing. I mean, you're going to be the names that people are hearing constantly, in household names. And I think you're like one step away from that. I mean, you're not far off, believe me. And I just think that's awesome. Now, this year, you guys, some of you guys, I know that Tyler is, and I know that you are, you're co-headlining the 2013 Teen Nation Tour, which started, I guess, this month, right?
Yeah, actually, it starts, I think it starts this weekend. And it's going to be a very long tour. I can assure you. The last tour, it was like 2 weeks. This tour is 1 full month. So it's we're going to be going to 22 schools and 8 venues. And, we're going to be fighting against bullying. And we're going to start in Delaware, which I'm actually in Delaware right now. And then we're going to Maryland, on to Virginia, and into North Carolina. And I'm co-headlining with Riley Ross and Tyler Layne and 5 other awesome artists. So it's going to be a really, really cool experience.
I'm so excited because I'm based in North Carolina, and I think you and I had a brief conversation on social media a while back about. Hey, you're coming to North Carolina, and you were like, where are you based now? Now that we're actually talking on air, I'll tell you where I'm based. I am about 40 minutes from Raleigh, Durham, and I'm looking at the schedule now. You guys are going to be in Benson, Elizabeth City, Ahoskie. I mean, you're going to New Bern, and Elizabeth City and New Bern is down in the eastern part of our state, which is near the coast. So if you can, grab some beach time while you're in the Carolinas.
I will definitely be trying to grab some beach time.
I mean, you guys are going to be, and I did not realize until I was looking at your schedule a day or two ago, I did not realize that you were going to be in all these schools, and I thought, how cool is this?
Yes.
I mean, you guys are like the stars of tomorrow that are really making noise today. And going to all these schools is what's really going to elevate your popularity. I just want to go ahead and tell you that. Not to mention, I'm sure everywhere you go, you're going to hear screaming girls. So you and Tyler, as well as, you know, the other male artists on the tour I know are going to be hearing screaming girls. So, you know, that's just a given. But you know, I'll tell you how close I am, like, to Benson and Smithfield, Selma, Kinston, especially Smithfield and Benson. I'm about an hour and 15 minutes away.
Oh, that's
it's a driving, and I really wish I didn't have stuff going on those dates because I would try to come out and catch you guys.
Yeah.
I think that would be so awesome to meet you guys.
That'd be really, really cool.
But I just know, you just never know what I might have going on. But anyway, that is just awesome. Now talk a little bit about this tour and what you guys are doing.
Well, like I said earlier, we're fighting against bullying because, you know, every single artist on the last tour, we were doing the exact same thing, trying to fight against bullying. And every single artist, we were all bullied, and we know how it feels. We know what it feels like, and you know, it's basically about that. We're trying to stop it. We're sick of it, and we're tired of people, you know, ending their lives or hurting themselves over this, so we're definitely trying to stop it.
And, you know, as I listen to you talk, and I've seen pictures of you and I've listened to your music, and I'm thinking, who has the last laugh now? When I think about, you know, because my interview, Tyler, he said the same thing, that he had been bullied, and, you know, I guess he was on the tour before, and he was just talking about how, you know, how people on the tour performers on the tour had all been bullied, just like you said. And I'm thinking to myself, these guys are having the last laugh. I bet those bullies wish they had never bullied now.
Exactly.
You know, but I mean, it's great in a way because you can have your own personal experience that when you go into these schools and you perform and you talk to the kids, you know, I mean, there's no greater testament than to be able to say to, you know, kids that look up to you guys to say, hey, I've been where you are. You know, I've been bullied, and let them know that, you know, you're not just there to perform, that it's really happened to you. And I think that that strikes a huge chord within, you know, kids when they hear that. And so, you know, and I couldn't help when I knew I was going to have you on tonight, I couldn't help but think about, you know, this tour and what a difference it's making in so many kids' lives, you know, either to prevent it or, you know, to at least minimize it. And, you know, and given what's going on in our nation today with the bombing in Boston, you know, it's just horrific because even that is now being called a terrorist act. And one of the things that I couldn't help but think about is somewhere, some way, someone did that to us today, did that to those people in Boston, and that's a form of bullying on such a very elevated and heightened level. But, yes, I mean, and to me, I think in some regards, bullying kind of starts at the school level where you guys experience
if you don't stop it, if we can't stop it before it reaches to that point, it's not going to be too well. I mean, it comes out today. But, I mean, I definitely know that our nation is going to pull through it because, I mean, after all, we pulled through 9/11, and I've never seen, I mean, I was little, but, I mean, after what my uncle and my grandpa, I call my grandpa my dad because he's with me all the time, but after what they were telling me, the nation has never been so close after 9/11. And
that's true.
I feel like that's going to happen tomorrow and maybe even today.
Yeah, and you already see it, on social media. I don't know if you've had the opportunity to be on social media or travel today, but it's
CNN all day.
all over. Yeah, I mean, it's all over. I was watching my local news here when I got off work, and it was amazing how they were saying that, certain tweets have been retweeted, like 40-some thousand times. And, I mean, it's just amazing how, thank God we have social media now, not only for the purpose of promoting artists like you, but when something like this happens in our country, within seconds of it happening, within minutes, the country they're aware of it. I mean, if you're on social media, if you're a social media junkie and you're tapped into that in any way, shape, or form, you know what's happening on social media before the news media can tell you.
Exactly.
And I think that's the beauty of social media on days like today, that we have that opportunity to connect in ways unlike we normally do on social media. And it's just amazing how people pull together and the support just kind of pours out, when things happen. And it's horrible in one way that it takes horrific things like this to pull us together as a nation.
Exactly.
But, in that regard, what you guys are doing is so very important because, like you say, if you can make a difference now and make your point about how important it is not to bully, either to be bullied, to tell somebody or to not bully, it can hopefully eliminate, things like what we're seeing today in Boston happen, much, much later. Because, there are adult bullies, too, whether it's in the form of terrorism, whether it's, in the workplace. Bullying is not just resigned to youth. It's universal, and it comes in many, many different forms, unfortunately.
Yes, unfortunately.
And so I think what you guys are doing is just amazing. It's just amazing. So kudos to all of you for taking a stand against bullying and for really getting out there and using your talent for the good of others. I mean, that's just so awesome.
Yes.
Now, I want to talk about your music because you've been called a quadruple threat. And I've heard of triple threats before, but you're a quadruple threat. I mean, that's huge. And I don't think there are too many quadruple threats going now.
Actually, I consider myself, I'm not sure what the exact number is, but I can do 5 things. I can sing, I can dance, I can act, I can model, and I can play guitar. I really don't know what the exact wording for 5 is that area, but, I can definitely do all those things.
Yeah, well, that's okay. The more the merrier.
Exactly.
I mean, you've got lots of things to do, you've got lots of areas that you can showcase your talents in, your many talents, and that's just incredible. So talk about your music, because how do you go about doing your music? I mean, have you written any songs? Obviously, you play guitar. I'm assuming that you've dabbled, you've written your own stuff. And how does that all happen for you?
Well, just this new EP that just literally came out. That one I could not write any of the songs. I had Dwight Watson. He's wrote some of the songs on that EP, and he basically what my label did is they gave me the song because all these songs, and because I was about to go on tour at the time we were finishing up recording, so I really didn't have time to write my own music. But on my album that will be after tour, because right after this tour I'm going home and I'm immediately going to start on my album. So on my album I'm going to have some original songs and all that. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be writing.
I think so far you are definitely off to the right start, because the music that has been put out, regardless of how it's come about, on the Up and Away EP, is so good that honestly, I'm like I said earlier, I'm thrilled to pieces you're already signed a record label, because that is just going to propel you to even greater heights. Literally take you up and away without a play on words here.
That's exactly why we
in such a hurry. I love how you chose that as your title. Not only, I assume this is your debut EP, correct?
Yes, it is. And on my physical copy, every single time you sell your first EP or your album, you have the thank yous and everything. So that shows you that it is my first ever time releasing a CD kind of like that. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and well, I think it is cool. And the thing about even though you're on an indie label, I mean, you are still pretty much in control of your creativity and what you want to do as an artist. Now, when you decided to get into music and pursue it, did you decide? I mean, was pop music just kind of a given that you knew that was the path you wanted to go down?
Well, I mean, I used to listen to Radio Disney like a lot before. When I had that feeling that I kind of wanted to do it, I used to listen to Radio Disney all the time, and I got, some of the stuff that was on there I loved, so therefore I said, why don't I try with pop? Because I really never, actually at first I really wanted to get into the Christian market, but I couldn't do that because of my age. It just wouldn't work out, so I decided, I'm going to go to pop, and it's taken off from there. It's been a huge thing.
Well, do you think you would ever pursue the Christian market at some point?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, once I'm older, I know for a fact that I'm going to. That eventually.
Well, just so you know, I have another radio show that tailors to nothing but Christian indie artists, and also, just all types of Christian-based, faith-based material and things of that nature that are of interest to listeners. And so when you get to that point and you decide that's what you want to do, or you're transitioning to that, let me know. I mean, we'll be following your career along the way, but, when that time comes, I mean, don't hesitate to reach out to us, because we would love to promote you in that. I mean, we'll promote you here as well, so it'll be kind of dual.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll do what we can. We believe in you as an artist, and we love what you're doing, and so we know you're going to have a great career ahead of you. But I honestly think that as good as you are as an artist, I think if the right people in the Christian market heard you, I think you would have a place in Christian music right now. That's just my personal opinion, just because, as I said at the beginning of this interview, you do not sound 13. You certainly are. You're well beyond your years in terms of maturity, and to have, to kind of have your head on straight and to know already at 13 years old what you want to do for a career, I mean, that's pretty huge for someone your age.
Thank you.
And you definitely sound like you are ready for it, and you're handling it very well so far. And you're tapped into some really positive things that are making a difference, and that's so important, So yeah, we would love to help you out, no matter how, what arena you end up, pursuing the most. We're glad to promote you any way we can to help you out with that. Now, I understand that. Have you started an Indiegogo? I know there was something on your site about a fundraiser for your album.
I'm definitely going to start. We filmed it, and we're going to start putting it up. I don't know the exact date we're going to put it up, but we've already filmed the promotional video for it, and hopefully it's going to be coming up sometime soon.
Well, when it comes out, again, let us know. We'll be glad to put a link to it. We'll post a video on our website, but we'll also link it to the Indiegogo site, the page over there that you create, so that so that we can have our listeners and those that visit our site, they can just be taken right to it, and we can hopefully try to get you some money raised that way as well. So,
awesome, thank you.
Yeah, we're happy to do what we can for you. Now, those are the things that you've got this tour you're on, for a good while, touring back-to-back dates. And you're ending here in North Carolina, which I'm so honored that you picked the state I live in to end the tour in. I mean, that's so cool. And you've got your album that you're going to be working on that should be coming out later in the year. I mean, what other things are you doing? I mean, because I tell you, I could see you on the Disney Channel easily. I mean, you've got that it factor.
A lot. And honestly, I definitely see myself doing that. But right now, I'm doing what I'm doing. And if they come knocking, I will definitely accept. Oh, yeah.
Well, I hope they do, and I hope that we do see you on our television screens at some point.
Yeah.
That would be cool. That would be really cool.
That would be very awesome.
Do you have anything else in the works that fans might want to know about?
Well, right now, of course, the album. And I'm also going to be traveling some more this summer, and hopefully doing some more meet and greets, that's definitely for sure that I will be doing a lot of meet and greets, and also working on another tour in the fall. So it's going to be really cool.
Oh my gosh, another tour in the fall. Now, is this going to be like another leg of the Teen Nation tour, or is this going to be your own tour?
Honestly, I think it's going to be my own tour. We're going to try to break out my own, see how it works out, and we're going to go from there.
Oh, that would be awesome. Well,
yes.
As I said before, as things evolve for you and unfold, please keep us posted. We will be happy to tweet out about it. We'll be happy to post it on our website. Any new music that you release, get it to us so we can get it out and people can be listening to it and hearing it. So far, we're getting great feedback on your song. We premiered your Up, Up, and Away song this past Saturday night on our Indie Artist Showcase show. And
yeah, I think I was actually listening. Well, I tuned in at the last second of the song. I heard the ending of it, and I was like, yes.
Yeah, so, and, but it's great stuff, and it needs to be heard, and that's one of the reasons why I was so excited about wanting to have you on our show, because you're an artist that I know within a matter of time people are going to be hearing more and more about and are going to know who you are. And so that's and then I can say, hey, I interviewed him when?
Yep.
Back in the day, before he was uber famous. But
yes.
Seriously, I expect that. I expect great things from you. So, well, I am so excited for you and wish you the very best of success for all of 2013. It sounds like it's off to a great start thus far. And we would love to have you back anytime to talk about, anything that you've got new coming out.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so very much for your time today, Tristan, and good luck on your tour. And maybe we'll get out to see you at one of these dates in North Carolina. We'd love to meet you in person.
Yeah, I'd love to meet you too.
All right. Well, take care. Say hello to everyone on the tour for me, and we wish you the best. And take care and have a great night.
You too.
All right. See ya.
See ya.
Bye-bye. Well, what an amazing young man. I was already sold on Tristan Blaine, initially when I heard his music, when I studied up on him for this interview and really kind of listened to what he is about. And then during this interview, when he said he was initially going to pursue Christian music because but he realized he couldn't because of his age, I thought to myself, he has really sold me now. And so how exciting is that? He's just a real special young man and is doing some wonderful things on tour, with the Teen Nation tour, the bullying tour, as I like to call it, that is speaking out against bullying and teaching, students and youth everywhere, about bullying and just educating. And I think that makes the biggest statement it can possibly make is when it's youth speaking to youth about a topic that is so prevalent in our society and in our schools today. So kudos to him and everyone that's on tour that'll be traveling to all the various cities and all the schools, making a difference. And that's really what it's all about, And now, I kind of want to turn our attention to, the issue in Boston. I'm going into this interview tonight as excited as I was to speak to Tristan. My heart was heavy, and it's still heavy. Just, as I'm sitting here looking at social media while I'm doing this interview, every other tweet is about Boston and, and pray for Boston and new details are coming in. I saw a tweet a while ago. I'm scrolling back now where, they're talking about the death toll, the injured toll. I mean, it's very heart-wrenching to see all of this. It's just horrible. Very horrific day in our country. Okay, I'm seeing a tweet right now that says more than 120 treated at 7 local hospitals. And that's pretty huge, folks. Whoever did this today did this with the intent of harming, tons of people that obviously has no regard for humanity whatsoever. And it's things like today that really, really make me angry as an American. But it also makes me angry and sad, But then, as Tristan said, nothing pulls our country together more than a tragedy, than a horrific event such as this. And it's really horrible that it takes these type of events to get us in a mindset and in a heart set where we will come together as one and be unified. It should not have to take, a mass horrific incident somewhere in our nation to take place before we really wake up and realize that we need to be unified like this all the time. Because, loss of life is great, and we don't know from one moment to the next where we're going to be, if we're going to be able to live. Don't know what's going to happen, especially in this day and time. And we can't live scared, and we can't go about our day, looking all around us to see if something's going to happen. But at the same time, we shouldn't have to. We really should not have to. But these are sobering days that we live in, and today was very sobering nonetheless. I read just a little while ago before I came on air that an 8-year-old child lost their life today because of the idiot or group of idiots out there who decided that setting bombs off at one of the most, commemorating annual event in our nation, the Boston Marathon. They weren't thinking because they didn't care. And, and as long as I've been living, I've always heard of the Boston Marathon. It goes back for decades. It's a huge day in Boston. So whoever did this today definitely knew what they were doing. They knew what day it was. They knew where a bunch of people would be gathered. That's terrorism. It's got terrorism written all over it. So as the days unfold and as time goes by, there will, as the investigation is ongoing, they will hopefully pinpoint who has been responsible, and they will be brought to justice, as our president said, and just keep, the people, the victims and their families of Boston in your thoughts and prayers as the evening goes on, and also as the days unfold, because I'm sure as this continues to evolve, we're going to get more details that are going to be gruesome and horrifying and sad and tragic, out of this. And we need to be praying. We need to pray for the people of our country. We need to be praying for this nation as a whole, its leaders, our government. We really need to get back to basics, people. That's my belief. Those are my personal convictions, but I believe at the end of the day, that's what it really boils down to. So with that, I will say thank you so very much to Tristan Blaine for being our special guest today, and also to all the listeners out there who tuned in. We greatly appreciate your time and for being here and your loyalty. If you're brand new to our program, thank you and welcome aboard, and we hope that you will be back with us again real soon. And so tomorrow evening we have an international artist. He is a hip-hop /rap /soul /R&B. He's really got it going on, got some great dance music that he's currently promoting, and we've been playing here on our show some. The artist is Sastre, I believe I have pronounced that correctly. He's from Puerto Rico. He will be right here at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll be chatting with him about his music and his career, so we hope that you'll be right back here with us and tune in for that. And until then, have a great night. Enjoy it. Remember to hold those you love a little bit tighter and a little bit closer. Tell them you love them. And let's all pray for our country. And with that, I bid you a farewell and a good night.
Thanks for listening to tonight's show. You can connect with Jammin Jukebox Radio Show on Twitter at Jammin Jukebox or on Facebook at Jammin Jukebox Radio Show. Check out our website at thejamminjukebox.com. Also, follow us on Blog Talk, where you will be always up to date on every episode as we add it. Each episode is available for immediate download upon the conclusion of each broadcast, and as always on iTunes. Thank you for joining us.
Girl. like a shooting star. So, oh, her magic powers run up and down my spine. Kryptonite and hypnotized, she made my whole world just stop. Like a frozen in time. What is this girl? She's a Tristan Blaine. Look at the girl, she's a forces